Hey Top Centers, Razor Joey here with what was originally going to be episode 50 and is now 51. And hopefully all things going to plan, this should be the second episode for this week. But before we cover this week's topic, I'd just like to thank every last one of you guys for coming to the channel, watching the vids, taking the time to hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot. Every new subscriber is another reason to keep making these videos. And I just want to take this time to thank you all. But I'm guessing you're not here to listen to me get all mushy on you. So let's talk about Worlds 2013 and deliver some possibly exclusive news about Mega Pokemon. And I don't mean the Worlds announcement. The Pokemon World Championships have just concluded, and I attempted to note the finals play by play. Now, I'm not going to cover every move, because the video is saved to Pokemon's Twitch account for anyone to watch, but I will be talking about the games in general and some of the better moves made. So first we have the junior finals between Yugo Sato of Japan, playing Plasma, against Ondrej Kujau from the Czech Republic, playing Darkrai. Now, the first thing to note in this match is how compact their Pokemon lines were. Yugo was only playing Thundurus, Deoxys and Kyurem, with no techs. There was no Keldeo to escape sleep. Andre was also playing a slim line, playing Darkrai with 2 Sableye and 2 Keldeo. So Andre could use Keldeo with a Dark Energy to escape from a sleep-on hit with Toxic Laser, at pretty much any point. Now, I have to applaud the level at which these two played. Noting that this was juniors, these kids were making moves that masters I know wouldn't think to make. You go into junior finals expecting to see an incredibly linear gameplay, but these two are looking at the board and saying, I have options, I'm going to use them. In fact, I found myself predicting moves in seniors and masters better than I did with the juniors final. Now, that could just be that I was expecting simple gameplay in juniors, and not in seniors and masters, but I'm glad these kids basically turned around and said, yeah, we're juniors. What does that matter? Both of these kids were amazing players, and the only thing I feel that let the match down was Game 3 going into time, and the game effectively coming down to who could draw first blood. I would love to see how the rest of that game played out, as even after first turns were up, the game could have gone either way if it played out. But we had to play to a schedule, and in the end Andre managed to take the first prize after 3 turns were up by being able to capture the damaged Deoxys, be anchoring for 5, hitting the Dark Energy he needed for Keldeo, and then rushing in and retreating to remove the sleep from his Darkrai so they could Night Spear for the KO and for first place. Next we have the senior finals with Kaiwen Kababe of Australia playing Plasma versus Clement Lamberton of France running Ray Eels. I'll be honest, I have no idea how Ray Eels got so far at Worlds with being such a maintenance intensive deck and having to contend with the speed and consistency of both Darkrai and Plasma, both of which should have the ability to neutralise Eels' setup with very little difficulty. But it made it into the finals and managed to push for a third game after an explosive setup in Game 2. But games 1 and 3 strongly illustrated the issues that I have with the deck. The Ray Eels just couldn't keep up, most notably in Game 3 where Clement's opening play was to Ultra Ball away a catcher to grab a Dynamo. Although he did end up with 3 Dynamo benched, he soon lost one and was left struggling to establish a strong field presence. By the end of the game, Clement was 5 prizes down, and his only real chance was when Kaiwen missed that he had game on the board after his Thundurus had been captured into the active position, wiping the effect of his own Kyurem's Blizzard Burn. It was only after Clement's next turn when he failed to hit the energy to KO the Kyurem that he captured back to the active did Kaiwen realise his previous misplay, and if Clement had managed to capitalise on that misplay, he could have removed most of Kaiwen's energy from the board and maybe managed to turn things around. But those are the cards were dealt, and Kaiwen managed to take Game 3 and become our new Seniors World Champion. And now we reach the Masters Final, which had the greatest finish to a World Championships that I have ever seen. But we'll get to that shortly. The Masters Final consisted of 2-time World Champion Jason Klatzinski of the United States playing Darkrai against Simon Narode, also of the United States, playing Plasma. An interesting note about both players' decks is that they both ran the Enhanced Hammer, with Jason running 2 and Simon running 1. The major difference though is that Jason also ran 3 Sableye, meaning he could pretty much guarantee being able to junk hunt those hammers and lasers or capture to reuse over and over again. That's just the advantage that running Darkrai gives you. Simon was running Plasma, so once his Plasma is used or discarded, it is gone. And this match went to show how vital enhanced hammer can be, with Jason being able to utilise it to good effect 4 turns in a row in Game 1, and using it again 3 times in Game 2. That combined with repeated lasers and catches meant that Jason was constantly on the offensive, with Simon having to end his turn by promoting Deoxys multiple times for them to take the hit instead of something more valuable. But the truly greatest moments were the final 2 turns. Simon manages to set up his Lugia and swing for huge free prizes, leaving him with 1 left, and that one being a Frost Spear away in his next turn. Jason starts his turn with 4 prizes left. There's no next turn. Jason and Simon both know this. The active Lugia is hanging on with next to no hit points. Keldeo on the bench is carrying 30 damage. It looks like that's game. Jason needs Catcher and Laser to stand a chance. Jason plays Juniper, drawing the last 7 cards in his deck. Uses Catcher on Simon's Keldeo, plays the Laser, uses Night Spear for 110, boosted to 140 after poison, knocks out Keldeo, 30 damage to the bench Lugia, knocking out Lugia, taking 4 prizes, knocking Simon Norod out of the competition and becoming the Pokemon Masters World Champion for a 3rd time. It was a dynamite play, and only Jason saw it coming. In the interview afterwards, he revealed he could have tried to do it a turn sooner, but with 8 cards in deck, he risked the chance of Laser or Catcher being the last card in deck, so he held back a turn to guarantee he would hit both. And that was the TCG World Championship Finals. Congratulations to Andre Kujal, Kawan Kababe, and Jason Kladzinski for taking home the prestigious title. You all earned it, and I'm sure all eyes will be on you next year in Washington, DC. Yes, Worlds is back in mainland America next year at the nation's capital. Venue and date have not been announced yet, but hopefully they will be announced soon. Now, stepping away from Worlds, our good friend Max managed to do some digging and found some interesting news relating to Mega Pokemon. It seems that Nintendo have licenses copyrighting a few certain Pokemon. Now we know about Mewtwo and Ampharos, but what about Jinx? The full list of recently trademarked Pokemon is as follows: Charizard, Blastoise, Gengar, Kangaskhan, Pinsir, Jinx, Gyarados, Aerodactyl, Mewtwo, Ampharos, Scizor, Houndoom, Tyranitar, Heracross, Gardevoir, Absol, Medicham, Banette, Latias, Latios, Aggron, and Abomasnow. The trademark doesn't just extend to the use of their name though, but to the creation of merchandise, such as leather bags, pouches, bounty cases, umbrellas, walking sticks, canes, clothing for domestic pets, domestic utensils, industrial packing containers of glass or porcelain, kitchen tools, cleaning tools, washing utensils, piggy banks, Lucky Charms, Amamori, sacred lots, toilet paper holders, personal articles of woven textile, mosquito nets, bed sheets, bedsheet covers, futon ticks, pillowcases, blankets, table napkins of textile, dishcloths, banners and flags, toilet seat covers of textile, seat covers of textile, wall hangings of textile, curtains, tablecloths, and draperies. Now, this isn't confirmation that these Pokemon will definitely get Mega Forms. A lot of the time, companies like to acquire the copyright to their potential properties just in case they want to use them at a later date, and to stop people from trying to acquire them before they do use them. But let's just give an idea at what Pokemon are potentially getting upgraded. Get ready, Max, your Mega Guardy could be waiting for you. With all that said, did you guys enjoy Worlds? Did you go or did you watch from home? And what do you think of the potential list of Mega Pokemon? Let us know down below. Until next time, I'm Joey. You guys are the world champions of the top percent. Laters.